Before we even start this video, let me tell you what this video is not about. I'm not going to tell you that love will happen when you least expect it. I'm not going to tell you that you need to learn to love yourself first. I'm not going to tell you that, oh, you just need to learn how to be happy being single first. This video is for those who have done all the work, who've put in all the effort, who have just been waiting for the right person to show up and it's not happening. And how do we deal with that? Or without feeling like, oh wow, I am going to die alone. Before we deep dive into it, I want to highlight 3 concepts that I have found really significant and important when you're chronically single. Number 1, radical acceptance. Even if you have read 1 page of Eckhart Tolle, you will learn that 50% of your life's misery, of the pain, of the sadness will go away the moment you learn to radically accept what is. Radically accepting what is does not mean that you're choosing your current state to be your permanent state. It is simply an acknowledgement that right now, the way things are, I will save so much emotional energy in simply accepting how things are right now rather than create pain, anxiety, sadness, wanting to change the present. Right now, the simple fact is that we're extremely single and that no matter how much we desire and yearn for romantic love, it's not happening. Radical acceptance simply means putting you in that Zen-like mode to be like, okay, I can observe certain feelings and emotions and angst and this and that, but I know right now it's not happening. So I'll be fine. Which leads us to number 2, choice. I know this is going to suck to hear because when we're in situations that we want to get out of, last thing we want to hear is that we have the choice to feel better. But babes, trust me, you always have the choice. I want you to be in a state where you actively want to choose to not be miserable, where you actively want to choose to be happier, which then leads us to the 3rd pillar concept. Lead with detachment. Anything that you're doing as a single person, you're going to a new party, you're going to travel somewhere, do not engage with life constantly with the expectation of a reward attached at the end of the experiences that you are seeking. That will inevitably lead to some kind of disappointment. Now that we've gotten all of this clear, let's get into the actual steps on how you're going to have a fulfilling life while validating, keyword, your emotions regarding the lack of romance as a chronically single person. Self-validation. I know I have been that person who's wanted to be all like, a man. Who said I need a man? Who said I want a man? I don't have time for romantic relationships. Meanwhile, I was crying myself to sleep every night. We're going to start with acknowledging, validating that, you know what, as a lover girl, as a lover boy, as a lover person, because we take care of all gender appropriations here, just acknowledge that, yeah, you want to have your own rom-com. Yeah, you want your Prince Charming to ride on a horse and show up at your doorstep. It's okay to want that. It's okay to nurture desire and yearning for romantic love. Through self-validation, you're no longer suppressing your desire. That means that you're actively communicating what you want to the universe. If you're watching this, I reckon you have watched several other content on how your energy, your aura is what communicates your desires to the universe, not necessarily verbally all the time. From self-validation, we're going to move to a state of keeping the lover girl or lover boy inside us alive. How do we do that? When we think about love, especially if you're in a state of, I want romantic love, that means that you're paying attention to only one form of love, that is romantic love, when the reality is that there are so many forms of love that surrounds you at all times. Maternal love, paternal love, familial love, platonic love, friends love, pets love. Being a lover boy or a lover girl means that you have so much love to give, and right now there is no one to pour that romantic love into. So what you're going to do, look around you, identify the sources of love that are there in your life. Think of that one friend that you have the best platonic relationship with, and you're going to funnel all the love that you want to pour in a romantic relationship into the people around you. I'm not asking you to sleep with your best friend because, yes, I know what you're going to say. But, romantic love has that intimacy attached to it. How do I fulfill that side of me? Let's rewind and go back to choice, radical acceptance. We're going to focus on what is there in our life right now, and that is other forms of love. It is so easy when you're seeking romantic love to be like, "Oh, I'm so alone, like I don't have love around me." Your friends are there, your parents are there, your pet is there, the universe is there. If you're religious, God is there. If you're an atheist, then cells are there. Now, what does that look like? Going on a date with your girls, buying your friend flowers, writing them cards, writing them notes, planning activities with them. What that is going to do is it's going to take you out of this scarcity mindset of, I don't have love in my life, to recognizing and shifting into an abundance mindset that, no, I am surrounded by love. Might just be that romantic love is not in my life, but here, there's so many other forms of love in my life right now. And then we're going to move to this idea of two things can be true at once. Now that we have self-validated ourselves, now that we have shifted the focus to an abundance mindset, we're going to pour into life experiences because we are not going to turn our life into this big weight of when romantic love shall happen. It will happen. While we wait for it to happen, we create or indulge in life experiences that are going to be so fulfilling. I'll give you a very quick example. This year for Valentine's Day, I'm currently living in France, and I knew I had the opportunity to spend Valentine's Day in the world's love city, Paris. Now, does this mean I was gonna go try and find a random guy to go on a date with? No. Does this mean that I was going to cancel spending Valentine's Day in Paris? No. Does this mean I was going to be sad and roaming around Paris like a sad little puppy? No. I decided to create my ideal solo romantic date on Valentine's Day in the city of love in Paris. And guess what? I set an intention that day because I know this goes back to the choice, because I know that maybe romantic love is not buzzing around me right now. So I was like, does it make sense for me to set an intention of, I'm gonna bump into my Prince Charming? But I know that platonic love is a big part of my life. So before I headed off to the city, I was like, you know what? Today I manifest some great interaction with strangers. I came out of that day with two friends now. This random girl that I have on Insta. I met 4 strangers that day at different places, and I had the best interaction with them. I romanticized the fuck out of it. I did things that I've always wanted to do. I spoiled myself. And this is where you must be thinking, oh, so you're going back to the love yourself thingy. No, it was about me, but it was also about community. So that is where 2 things can be true at once. When romantic love is supposed to happen, it will. In the meantime, I am going to make the most of life. And this leads me into my final point, which is invest in yourself. Again, before you're like, ugh, there it goes, the love yourself, choose yourself. Babes, let's focus on this analogy. So you know that eventually you want to work in marketing, you want to have an Emily in Paris life. But right after university, you got a job in events coordination. So you know you're gonna kind of like spend 2-3 years there, making sure that you have money before you can move to a big city and work with a marketing agency. Throughout those 3 years, you know ultimately where you want to be. But for those 3 years, you're going to make sure that you're making the most of that job, right? Even though you hate it, you're still gonna like go there, do the job, blah, blah, blah. That is what I mean by invest in yourself. you know that eventually you want to have that beautiful romantic love story. In the meantime, doesn't mean that you're just going to sit at home, wail and cry, and be miserable the whole time. By investing in yourself, you are creating some permanent, solid areas in your life that are going to be fulfilling in the long run. Whether it's your career, whether it's yourself going to the gym, taking a self-defense class, putting yourself in places where you're making new friends. As much as we want to romanticize romance, it's important to not pedestalize it. Again, I am not asking you to let go of the desire, of the yearn for romantic relationships. I'm simply asking you to shift your focus and build a fulfilling life while you kind of surrender trust into the universe that when it's meant to be, it will be. In the meantime, I want to have an epic love story with myself. And while doing all of that, who knows? One day we will wake up on a Sunday morning, we'll roll around, and there's the love of our lives. And they're making us some breakfast in bed after we've just, you know. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, come join the fun on Instagram, and I'll see you guys very soon.